Ever hear the phrase, well, butter my biscuit and call me a biscuit? No? Well, buckle up for a wild ride through the land of forgotten idioms. Idioms, those quirky phrases that add a dash of color to our language, are often as intriguing as they are perplexing. They paint vivid pictures with words, expressing complex ideas in imaginative ways. But what about those idioms that have slipped through the cracks of time? Those that have become, let's say, lost in translation? Forgotten idioms, once common, now lie in the dusty corners of our linguistic attic. They may not be part of our everyday conversation, yet they carry a charm and wit that's undeniably attractive. They offer us a glimpse into the past, showing us how our ancestors viewed the world and expressed their thoughts. So, are you ready to dive into the world of obscure idioms? Hold on to your hats because we're about to go down the rabbit hole. First up, we have to run with the hare and hunt with the hounds. Sounds like a workout, doesn't it? But no, this isn't about fitness. This idiom is a classic way of saying you're trying to keep in good graces with both sides in a dispute. Think of it as playing the diplomatic game, trying to keep everyone happy. This idiom originates from Old English hunting practices. Picture the scene: the hare, the hunted, running for its life, and the hounds, the hunters, chasing relentlessly. It's a bit of an impossible task, isn't it? Trying to run with the prey and hunt with the predators at the same time. But isn't that just like trying to please everyone? So let's bring this idiom back, shall we? Next time you find yourself trying to play both sides, just remember you're not being shady or indecisive. No, you're simply running with the hare and hunting with the hounds. Next on our list is to go the way of all flesh. Sounds morbid, right? Well, the idiom is indeed a bit somber as it refers to the inevitable destiny we all face, which is death. Originating from the King James Bible, the phrase appears in the book of Job, where it reads, "Man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. He cometh forth like a flower, and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow, and continueth not." Quite poetic, isn't it? This idiom has been used in literature and conversation to reflect upon the fleeting nature of life, or to express the end of things in a more philosophical way. While it might not be the most cheerful idiom to bring back, it does add a touch of eloquence and historical richness to our language. So, next time someone's old phone finally gives up the ghost, you can say, "It's gone the way of all flesh." Now we've got a 2-for-1 deal. To teach your grandmother to suck eggs and a pig in a poke. Quite a mouthful, aren't they? Let's dive into it. First up, to teach your grandmother to suck eggs. This idiom might sound strange, but it's got a straightforward meaning. It's used when someone tries to advise or instruct someone else on a topic they already know very well. Picture this. You're trying to teach Gordon Ramsay how to scramble eggs. Not the most productive use of your time, right? This idiom traces its roots back to the 17th century, where it was first recorded in a Spanish and English dictionary by John Minshew. The idea behind it is pretty simple. Grandmothers, having lived longer, are implied to have more experience and knowledge, especially in household tasks like, well, sucking eggs. Moving on to our other idiom, a pig in a poke. This one's all about buying something without inspecting it first. It's like buying a car without a test drive or a house without a tour. The phrase, a pig in a poke, comes from medieval times. Back then, a poke was a bag. So buying a pig in a poke would mean buying a bag with a pig inside without actually checking if there really was a pig in there. The French have a similar idiom, acheter chat en poche, which translates to buy a cat in a bag. The moral of these idioms, always check what you're buying. So there you have it. 2 more idioms to add to your linguistic arsenal. Whether you're trying to teach your grandmother to suck eggs or buying a pig in a poke, these phrases can add a touch of historical charm to your everyday conversations. Next time you're buying something sight unseen, remember, you might just be buying a pig in a poke. Let's dive deeper into our next idiom, to carry coals to Newcastle. First up, we have to carry coals to Newcastle. Sounds redundant, doesn't it? This idiom hails from Old English practices and is a charming way of expressing a redundant act. Imagine trying to do something that's already been done. You'd feel a bit like you were carrying coals to Newcastle, wouldn't you? It's a vivid picture of an unnecessary effort. So, let's bring this idiom back, shall we? The next time you find yourself doing something redundant, just remember, you're not being unoriginal. No, you're simply carrying coals to Newcastle. Next up, we have to take French leave. Sounds mysterious, right? This idiom has an interesting history, hailing from French practices. It's a fancy way of saying leaving without saying goodbye. Picture this. You're at a party, and you decide to slip out without a word. You're not just leaving, you're taking French leave. It's a more elegant way to describe an abrupt exit, wouldn't you agree? So let's bring this idiom back, shall we? The next time you find yourself leaving without a word, just remember you're not being rude. No, you're simply taking French leave. Moving on, let's dive into our next idiom. To throw the baby out with the bathwater. Sounds alarming, doesn't it? Rest assured, no babies or bathwater are actually involved. This idiom serves as a cautionary tale against overreaction. It warns us not to discard something valuable in our eagerness to get rid of the undesirable. Imagine you're cleaning out your closet. You want to get rid of the old and make room for the new. But in your enthusiasm, you accidentally toss out a cherished keepsake. That's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Though it's not widely used today, this idiom is a charming reminder of the importance of careful decision-making. So the next time you're making a big change, remember, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Our final idiom journey takes us to a place of extreme joy, to be in seventh heaven. Sounds delightful, doesn't it? This idiom is used to express a state of euphoria, of being extremely happy or content. The phrase originates from ancient religious beliefs where the seventh heaven was considered to be the highest, where deities resided. Over time, it has come to symbolize any place of true bliss. Although it's an old idiom and not commonly used today, its meaning is universally understood. The next time you're feeling extremely happy, whether you've achieved a goal, spent time with loved ones, or simply enjoyed a good book, remember, you're not just happy, you're in seventh heaven. And that's the wrapping up of our idiom adventure. We've opened the Pandora's box of forgotten idioms and unearthed 8 hidden gems. Our journey has taken us from the dichotomy of running with the hare and hunting with the hounds, to the inevitability of going the way of all flesh. We've ventured into the realms of teaching our grandmother to suck eggs and the risk of buying a pig in a poke. Our adventure did not stop there. We've dared to carry coals to Newcastle, taken the audacious French leave, boldly thrown the baby out with the bathwater, and found ourselves basking in seventh heaven. These idioms may be of yesteryear, and their use might be rare today, yet isn't that what makes them intriguing and delightful? Envision the amusement you could create by weaving these into your everyday dialogues. A hint of forgotten idioms can inject a dose of wit and laughter into your typical talks. Remember, language is the zest of life, and these idioms are the overlooked seasonings in the back of the cabinet. Dust them off and scatter them into your conversations. Did we miss any? Sound off in the comments below. Until we meet again, keep your language vibrant and lively.